I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this video, aren't I? I'm about to show you the simplest magic trick I know, and I want you to think about what the most important part of this would be, okay? So here's the trick. I got the 7 of spades, now it's the joker, and now it's a jack of hearts. What do you think is the most important part of what I just showed you? And I'm gonna try to read your mind through the screen. Are you ready? Okay, hold on. Don't say a word, just think about it. Chances are, you said, it's the secret. You're thinking of this. But you will be mistaken. You were wrong, my friend. If you imagine like putting a magic trick together as like a pie chart. The longer you do this, you realize that the secret only forms about 10% of the full amount of work required to come up with a great magic trick. But what is that extra 90%? That's the question that we're going to answer today, because today I'm about to do the same magic trick in 10 seconds, 10 minutes, and 10 hours. But first, this is the 10-second version, and I'm a little bit rusty, and that's the point. So you might see how this is done. 10-second version, are you ready? And it's gone. Now, if that felt impressive, I have news for you. That wasn't my design. And there's a very good reason for that. See, unlike other art forms, magic doesn't usually begin with an idea. For some reason, most magicians start here, at the archive. So the entire culture of magic is built on one simple formula. Here's a trick, this is how it's done, now you go out and perform it.
Rip them right along the set, right there.
And they throw it away.
But when you have inundated yourself in enough magic, you realize that the vast majority of magic that you're exposed to is often the 10-second version. Magicians have learned a trick, and now they're performing it. And it's gone. So the direct result of this is that hundreds and thousands of magicians around the world are not only performing the 10-second versions of the tricks, but it's just like the exact same trick, done the exact same way. No evolution. Now, if I've done my job well at this point, you should be thinking of 2 questions. Number 1, even if you believe me about secrets, what else is there to a magic trick? And number 2, if magic is just like reproduction, what do I work on for the 10-minute version? I think both these questions can be easily answered by talking about what inspired the 10-second version. I don't know when exactly this was published, but I want to talk about a magician named Johann Stahl and his DVD, Sleeveless Sleeving. Before watching this instructional video almost 15 years ago, I used to believe that magicians putting things up their sleeves was a complete myth, because I used to get caught doing it all the time. But what I realize now is that Johann Stahl is among like a handful of magicians who actually understand what the technique really is. Stahl would start by pulling his sleeves up and then end with his sleeves up. Now, you look a little confused. I got you, hold on. We know that it's up his sleeve because he tells us in the title. But then why is he still selling DVDs if it's the secret that's all that matters? That's because Stahl uses 2 techniques that magicians don't understand because we never talk about them, but they're so important in understanding why I made the choices I made during the 10-minute version. These are you ready? Blocking and misdirection. I hope you enjoyed that because I demonstrated it. Okay, whatever. It's time that we work on like the 10-minute version of this. So let's start now. Now, 10 minutes is not that much time, which I'll soon learn the hard way, and goddamn, there's not enough time! I had a vision. Like, you have the vanish, and that's it. Like, there's nothing tangible, nothing feasible there, but the thing that I was thinking about was like a Kyle Marlette. Welcome to the amazing world of magic. And I thought that was hilarious. I thought that was so funny. The problem in achieving my vision, however, is that I really like flexibility in my blocking. Like, that's cool. That's pretty sick. Oh, quick aside, blocking is essentially how you move within a given space. So for example, if I made my point back here, it's not really as effective as if I made my point here. You know, with like the seating and the hand gestures and everything. So usually I like to keep my blocking very flexible, you know, because then it feels like that we're doing this thing together. Da-da, something else. And then we have the reveal. But this trick was created for blocking that was supposed to be very precise. That means every single motion had a reason to exist. Now in Stahl's case, that reason was to make sure that his sleeves felt like they were up the whole time, but as you can see, that was not my goal. And that's when I found my second problem. What I was doing wasn't much of a trick. Your attention was on the Sharpie, which happened to be the same hand that I was doing the trick with. But I didn't have enough time to practice. I mean, I spent the first 3 minutes trying to find Kyle Marlette's bit. Come on, stop eating my time up. And then another 2 trying to find the confetti. Where'd it go? And goddamn, there's not enough time. Found it. So time was running out. I had like a minute and a half left on this. I needed some kind of good misdirection. Da-da, something else. And so my brain thought, oh, you know what? It'd be a great idea to use cleaning supplies. Oh, another quick aside. Misdirection starts very simple, but it can get really complicated really fast. So here's an example. I'm going to make this ball disappear. What's Winston doing? Generally speaking, it's the, oh, what's Winston doing part of a magic trick that's the misdirection. But there's so much more to it. Man of action, none of your George. Bum, 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 bum. There's like sight, sound, smell. I mean, someone literally wrote a chapter on what it is in terms of neuroscience, but like, they still have a hard time describing it. That's why I call misdirection the beating heart of a magic trick. Bum, bum, bum. Because it really is the technical core of what an audience perceives. I'm probably gonna have to just like do this while I'm still practicing. But is it the most important part of a magic trick? Not quite. We'll get to that in the 10-hour version. Because after the timer ran out, I ended up with something that looked like this. Oh, that's the timer. Okay, so that's the end of the timer. That only means one thing. I gotta perform the version for you. Be a little gracious, because I didn't have enough time to make sure that this works, that this is good. This is what I came up with, 10 minutes. Just 10 minutes, all right? Da, da, da. Let me do that again. Da, 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 da. Huh? Now, I'm gonna be honest, looking back at that was probably shit. That wasn't too bad. I mean, of course there were glaring inconsistencies and problems in terms of like the craft of it all. Like the sleight of hand was off, the timing was off, there was no performance. It was just like, who is this madman? Da-da. What is this magic trick? Here's an important idea. Both the 10-second version and this version of the trick were done by pushing the pen up my sleeve. Then why is it that the 10-second version feels different compared to the 10-minute version? If secrets are all that mattered, shouldn't they be exactly the same?
You're thinking it, aren't you?
You're thinking about it. You really are thinking about it, aren't you?
When you clicked on this video, and the second I said, secrets of magic don't matter, magicians in the audience were like, I'm about to flame this guy. He has no idea what he's talking about. But now we have evidence. Now we have straight up evidence that proves that I'm right. So what are you gonna do about it? I'm sorry. That was a moment of weakness. I shouldn't be gloating, because that's not the way to do things. So let's go back to that pie chart for a second. If it's not the secrets that matter, what does?
Non più tra i farfalloni amoroso, notte giorno di torno girano, delle belle turbando al riposo, Narcisetto Addoncino d'amor.
Because I am telling you folks, the second you wrap your head around what the rest of the 90% looks like, you're gonna view magic as a completely different art form than you did when you first clicked on this video. I'm going to start the timer. 10 hours, timer starts now. So, here's the idea. Wait. We're jumping the gun here. Let's take it one step at a time. All I want you to do is tell me the difference between these two magic tricks. Are you ready? Yeah? No pattern, no script, and this. Yeah, while this one isn't as obvious as the one that we did at the beginning of the video, what I'm hoping you said was that you seem to connect with this version a little bit more. And that's because this one told a story. The story of a sad boy who became a happy boy. Similarly, some of the best magic tricks are not tricks that are all about, what? Cards everywhere, oh my god, this is insane! But they're more stuff like this, which is trying to communicate something much deeper than, what? Cards everywhere, oh my god! But that's the side of magic you don't get to see. Isn't that wild? So the challenge for this 10-hour video wasn't like, how can I make this trick more invisible in terms of method or vanish? But really the challenge was, how do I take the stupid little shit and turn it into something that's meaningful, into something that says something? And that's when one of you came to my rescue. Welcome to the stream. Why? Why do we have a lack of motivation, right? What does that mean? Like, that's the big question here. You don't understand. I was literally dying before Molino showed up. There's no, like, idea here so far. Or I might just fall asleep on stream, who knows? Just kind of disappointing. It could be a spoon. Usually, I'd go through this exact process with consulting clients or my own team, but now, I had you to do this with. We want to convey an emotion. We want to express ourselves. That's correct. Why? This was so special. Okay, hear me out. Hear me out. Selim and I got to the bottom of what really mattered in our story. Oh, that's how we connect. That's beautiful. Yeah, it's connection. And we landed on something very simple. Yeah. From there, we added structure, hit a few roadblocks. The pull broke. 28 minutes and the pull broke. Ah! And finally, 10 hours later, we had our magic trick. Before I show you what we made together, I think I should tell you what we're up against. One of the biggest magic YouTubers, Chris Ramsey, went to the World Championships of Magic in 2022. There, he met a group of Spanish magicians that ended up rekindling his love for our art form. And in the video that he made about it, I think I saw the most beautiful piece of magic I've ever seen. Two magicians, Juan Colas on the right and Chris Ramsey on the left, connected with just a pencil. As soon as Juan touched his own chest, Chris could feel Juan's heartbeat. Much like the trick we created today, it wasn't concerned with secrets. It was about making a connection through magic. Sadly, it wasn't long until Juan's trick got packaged and sold to hundreds and thousands of magicians around the world, spawning I don't even know how many 10-second copycats. I'm certain that none of them really feel the weight of that moment as much as Chris and Juan did that day. But it's not their fault. They didn't have a supernatural hangover telling them how best to practice this art form that we both love. But you do. So if you made it this far into the video, please consider subscribing, because we are the only thing in magic right now trying to make this kind of beautiful work a part of popular culture. And if you're a magician, consider checking out the Patreon, because only if you can afford it, I'm available on Zoom to work on your own magic one-on-one. But enough of trying to pay the bills. I really hope you enjoy this trick we created together. I genuinely couldn't have done it without you. Especially you, Salamolino. Thank you. My name is Ananya George. Goodbye and good night.